awesome. Hello and welcome to my video. If you're new here on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you are someone who supports the channel, want to see it do better, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It actually helps a lot, same as comments, but the thumbs up is super easy to do, so make sure you do that. Now today, I want to talk to you guys about being an introvert and saying yes and doing things and pushing yourself to do things. Now, I myself am what I call a mix of introvert and extrovert because I definitely have qualities from both sides of it. Like, I would say that a lot of the time when I was younger, I was more introvert, and now that I'm a little bit older and I've pushed myself by saying yes, I'm a lot more of an extrovert. So I've kind of moved my spectrum over to being more extrovert. But being an introvert is not a bad thing. But being an introvert that allows your introversy to stop you from doing things in life is gonna stop you from enjoying your life as much, because there's still all these really cool things that you can do with your life. And it's okay to be alone, and it's okay to seek being by yourself and seeking shelter in your house and all that kind of stuff. But it's not okay to say no when you want to say yes, but you're just scared to say yes. So I just want to talk to you guys about how my weekend has gone, which had a lot of opportunities for me to say no, but I actually said yes. So if you watch the channel for a really long time, you know that I love cinematography. I love to film things. I love to create projects. And if you followed the channel for a really long time, you know I've made my own documentary. I've worked with really high-end people like Terry Crews, C.T. Fletcher, etc., etc. And you know that's bringing me a lot of joy. When I go and do film, it's something that really makes me excited. Now, I usually have a partner when I film people, and that's something that helps a lot of introverts get out, especially when that other person is more extroverted than you, because you can kind of rely on them, and it kind of creates an introverted bubble even while you're out in the public space and you're interacting with, you know, weird variables and stuff. You still have the kind of like that shelter, that safe person. Now, this weekend, I had the opportunity to shoot JJ Weezy. Jordan Cheyenne is her YouTube name. JJ Weezy is her Instagram. And she wanted me to come and film, first off, like an intro for her diet series, which is like her shred series, as well as an episode for it, just so that she can get more professional cinematography going on her channel, kind of bring up the quality of everything. And for me, this is something that I really like doing because I've done fitness videos forever. I've shot a ton of fitness videos. I have a really good eye for it. I really like shooting stuff in the gym. I really like shooting stuff just to make people feel good about themselves. So when I first heard it, I was like, nice. And then immediately I also had the counter thought to that, which is like, I could also not do it. Like I could come up with a reason not to do it, and that way I won't have that extra thing to do this weekend. I can stay in, you know, whatever it is, like walk around my neighborhood and stay in with Sammy and stuff. But instead, I was like, you know what? I know you really, really want to do this project. I know I can do it. I know it's gonna come out really good if I put my effort into it. And I know it's gonna be really fun. Once I get into the situation, I know I'm gonna have a blast. And that's what I mean when I say I'm kind of an introvert extrovert, because I gain a lot of energy and happiness from being around other people. It really brings me up. And I think a lot of people who are introverted think that, you know, they feel better when they're alone, but really I think it's, you feel more safe when you're alone. So by pushing yourself to go out of that bubble, you can gain a lot. It's just that you have to get past that icebreaker stage of being like, all right, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do this new thing. It's gonna be a little bit like, I have to like bring myself up and try really hard. But I did, and it was really, really fun. Like seriously, JJ is an awesome person. We were like running around all over La Mesa, which is the area that the gym is at, like shooting all these different scenes. I was able to use my equipment that I love using, my stabilizer, my drone, these smoke-colored grenades, all this different stuff that when I use it on myself, it's fun, but I can't quite use it to the full potential unless I'm shooting someone else. That way I can be behind the camera. So by saying yes, I put myself into a position where I was able to use these things and fulfill a passion of mine, which is cinematography, a little bit more than I would if I had said no and just continued to shoot myself all the time. Now, luckily, I've kind of noticed this before with myself, and I always try to push myself to say yes when it comes to any film work, as long as, you know, the time works. So that was the first event that I wanted to say. By saying yes, I brought myself a lot of joy that I wouldn't have had if I had said no. I wouldn't have had a bad time being at the house, but I would have just had more of a neutral time. But instead, I got this huge spike of happiness. The second thing that I did this weekend that, again, is a little bit out of character in terms of how I would, you know, if I was just taking it easy and being comfortable, is I was invited to a restaurant menu testing at Native Foods up in Encinitas. Now, this is a little bit of a drive away, which is a great excuse to put out there if you're trying to be introverted. I also didn't have Sammy to go with me. She usually comes to the menu testings with me, and we go to the restaurants together. Again, kind of a safe person, but she had to work this day, so it was up to me whether or not I wanted to go and do this menu testing with what was it, like I think 13, 14 other people. We had this huge long table, and you know, initially my thoughts went, oh, I could just say no and I could just stay in on Sunday. I already have a lot of work. You know, immediately I feel like when you have introvert tendencies, you start to come up with excuses quickly. You start to pile them up, and that way you can really justify it and then not feel bad about, you know, staying in and not doing things, because you're like, well, that's 3 different excuses. You know, it's a long distance away. There's, you know, I have other work I have to do, and you know, is something else, right? It's a lot of people or something. I don't know anybody there. No one there is my friend. No one likes me. Whatever the thing is, and it's not true, but it's all in your head, right? So instead I was like, you know what? It's a little out of character for me to go to it by myself. I usually deny these kind of things. I'll be honest with you. I usually say no just because I'm like, I do have a lot of work and excuses. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna commit to it. I'm just gonna force myself. This is what I had to do all throughout high school, because I went from homeschool all the way through middle school and then jumped into public school in high school. I had no friends, and literally that was my whole life, was saying, okay, let's do this. I walk into the classroom with no friends, walk into the party with no friends, start making friends, you know? And it's hard, but it's really rewarding. So I went there and everybody was super nice. It took a little bit to like get to start talking to everybody because everybody was already seated and I came in a little bit late. I talked to the person left and right of me, talked to my friend Carly across, and then talked to the person next to her, and then the person next to her, and then kind of like moved down the line, and people came over, and etc, etc. And so I got 2 different things out of it. You know, I got to try a bunch of really awesome food. See if this compares to Plant Power at all, because that's my favorite one, the Big Zack there. So we're gonna go without ketchup first. It's like a Big Mac with barbecue sauce. Not quite a Big Mac, but it's really, really good.
I really like the barbecue sauce, actually. Yeah. The barbecue, I gotta say, I like the barbecue sauce.
That was really good. So I've never had kimchi in my whole life, but kimchi is supposed to be really good for you. Wow, that's really good. But then also, I met all these different people who are in San Diego, who are all vegan-themed podcasters, Instagrammers, YouTubers, etc. And now I have a plethora of new friends and connections. You know, there's already people from that group that are like DMing back and forth, and we have a little group chat going and stuff. And I left there buzzing. Like before, I was like, oh man, I still have a lot of this project to do left. I still have a lot of editing, and then tomorrow I have coaching. But screw it, I just did it anyways. And it was really, really fun. Again, I'm just telling you all this because I'm hoping that from me showing you and telling you what my experiences were and like what my push has been this last weekend, even just kind of giving you guys a little diary, a little story time of this. I'm hoping that the next time, maybe today or maybe next weekend or this week sometime, when you are faced with those kind of like introvert tendencies where you're like, here's an excuse, here's an excuse, here's an excuse, instead, push yourself to do it, because you don't know what you're missing out on. And even if it sucks, it's okay. Life is always good. Remember, like if you're introvert, then you enjoy your alone time. So after you're done, you can go back to being alone, and it's no skin off your back. You don't have to go again if it sucked. But sometimes it's gonna be awesome. And sometimes people who are introvert are like, I'll never find somebody, like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or like, oh, that's cool, you have a best friend, but I don't really have a lot of friends. Well, how do you think people make friends? Like, I feel like me and this guy, Dash Eye, that I met, he's a podcaster here, I'm like, next time I see that guy, I'm gonna be like, what's up, homie? Like, hey, it's real good to see you. And I wouldn't have met any of these people, but even him, if I hadn't gone to this event. So again, this is just a little motivation. I just wanted to share a little personal part of my life, maybe like a little mini vlog here, and just get you excited to go and do things and bring yourself out of that, you know, inside tendency. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, seriously, it really does help if you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. That always really, really helps any YouTuber that you're watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week, CT.
Lift heavy or die, MIRIN, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week.